Hi, everyone. I'm here today to introduce the new series that I'm going to be doing for all the zodiac signs. This one will be a reading to find out how these next 3 years of your life are going to be impacted, the central theme of these next 3 years of your life. If you are not aware, and my astrology that I put out every Sunday on the 15th, 4/15, we entered a 3-year period of time in which Pisces is being schooled by the sign of Saturn. So it's kind of like the oppression of the energy of Pisces. Now, what you should know about this. First of all, we've been in the age of Pisces since around 50 BCE, and we will be transitioning into the age of Aquarius and solidifying the age of Aquarius at 2100. Okay. It seems like a far way away because we're like 75 years away from actually being in 2100. But that means that we are currently in this 100-year cycle from 2000 to 2100 of the shift into the age of Aquarius. The first 25 years was the concession, let's say that concession of the sign of Pisces giving the crown to the age of Aquarius. And this is the reason why we saw so much divisiveness, so much turbulence, and so much ugly. Then from 25 to 50, we're going to go into this transition where our physical world will be affected as we enter into the new rules of the age of Aquarius. And then we're going to go from 50 to 75, where we are going to see the impact of our social emotional frameworks. So relationship skills, connections, so forth, so stuff, that stuff that has to do with your emotional body, and that will be shifting into the age of Aquarius. Another large shift that will be causing a lot of chaos. And then finally, from 75 to 100 is when we enter into the psychic world, where our minds are and our spirit is being affected by the age of Aquarius. And then we're solidified the age of Aquarius. So why I'm telling you this is because these first 3 years is the giving up of the crown. We're actually entering into what the Bible talks about in the age of, in the book of Revelations of the 7 years of darkness. This is the first 3 years, and then we're going to go into another 4-year cycle, which is like, that shift. Okay, so you have to think of 7, very important because it represents every single one of our energy centers. So if you're going from the base all the way to the crown, it's not until the 7th year that we finally are free from all the confinements of the age of Pisces. What does the age of Pisces mean? You have to think of the age of Pisces as the two fish. This is when there was a separation between the yin and the yang, where there are perceived differences between white and black and good and bad and right and wrong, kind of a separation. And then because of that separation, there was a lot of deceit because as you saw the yin and yang, there was a lot of yin inside the yang and a lot of yang inside the yin, right? So there's darkness, hidden darkness in people. There's masks that they were wearing. There was lies and deceit. As we're entering into the age of Aquarius, what we're doing is that we're moving into a season in which your external world and the way people view you and everything will be what your internal world truly is. There is no more hiding. And I've explained this over and over again for a while, but a lot of people are not understanding. There are some people that are already receiving the impacts of being seen. Some of them are very negative and some of them are really positive. It depends on what side of the spectrum you are. So this series will be focusing on this. This introduction video will be in every single one of them. So people are aware as to what it is that I'm focusing on. We will see how it will affect your light aspect. In other words, the sun, what you can see in your life and what you will know on your 3D reality. And then we're going to be looking at your dark aspect and the moon aspect, which is your subconscious. And then we're also going to be looking at the thing you will be confronting because we will be looking at your double energy. So I hope this is very informative and it helps you guys to understand why you're feeling how you're feeling these next 3 years, as it is a huge shift that is happening in the collective. Thank you for being part of the family and always subscribing. Thank you for checking out my website and subscribing to my newsletter there, where I send out a email every week on the astrology. And thank you for being interested in the services that I provide. All of you guys have been a blessing to me and a blessing to this channel, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's start our message. Hi, everyone of the sign of Aries. So I'm shuffling the cards. I'm going to shuffle them a few times until they tell me to stop. And we're going to start off by actually pulling out a charm to find out a little bit about the energy for these next 3 years. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So there are silver charms and there are gold charms on here. And when you get a gold charm, it's talking about a subconscious or a spirit shift. Things that are gold have to do, things that are gray have to do with your 3D reality. You actually got a gold flower or a gold rose. This is talking about a big transmutation or change that is happening in your spiritual world. So when something changes in your spirit, you are confronting ego self, and you are also confronting belief systems that no longer serve you. And there usually incorporates some sort of soul death. So keep that in mind as we're going through this energy, because it does look like these 3 years are an evolution of your soul. And we see that with 2 major arcanas when it comes to the moon. Ironically, the sun was right after it. And now I'm just going to look for the devil card. Okay, so the bottom of the deck after I finish the last one is in the 10 of Wands. So it does look like coming to an area of your life where you are carrying heavy burdens, and you are getting to the point where you're releasing some of that heavy burden. And I feel like that's very much because you are shifting the way that you see the world, and you're shifting the way that you see yourself. Okay, let's start with the sun, because the sun has to do with what you see and what you know. And the first thing we have is the 4 of materials. The second thing that comes out, which is the 4 of pentacles, mind you, there's a 3 of wands, and there is the 7 of materials, which is pentacles. So first of all, we're having a lot of pentacles. That means that you're going to be focusing very much on your money, on your resources, and on your abundance. So one of the things that you're going to see your mind focusing on these next 3 years is money. Besides that, you're going to be focusing on the 3 of inspiration. You're going to look for situations where one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. So it's kind of like, I'm going to take this course because this course will help me with this license that I need, so that I can start practicing this in my office and then move in this direction. So it's kind of like one thing leading to the other, leading to the other, leading to the other. So your very material, pentacle, practical mindset for these next 3 years. And it's all about creating stability and using the energy to really create a solid foundation for yourself. This is investing time, energy, and effort. You're also being very reserved about what you're doing. So it's not like if you're being very vocal to everybody that you know about all the things that you're thinking about doing for your finances. Very wise, because that way people don't interfere. Okay. So now let's talk about your moon. This again is your subconscious. And this is where I'm feeling that you're going to be doing the most amount of change, because we did get the gold rose. And the first thing we have is the Wheel of Fortune. There is a massive shift in your spiritual self, in your mental space. It might be that you are shifting perspectives because you've healed a lot of things. It might be that you're connecting to a group that is opening your mind to a different way of looking at things, and is shifting the way that you perceive the world around you. But there's a big shift there. There's also the Knight of Materials, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And this one's usually slow and steady and moves away. But this one, because of the fact that it's a very moving energy, it looks resilient, because I do see a succulent. So it's not like if you're going to have to do much in your spiritual work for it to move forward. There's also movement, like quick movement and changes. And I feel like it's more on, it feels like a group you're connecting to that is opening this a door. And then we have the hermit energy. And the hermit energy is literally as I'm looking at the horse, it's moving towards the hermit energy. So you really don't have to do too much about this, but I do see that you're moving quickly into entering deep inside your subconscious, deep inside your spiritual self, like really doing the deep work to really know yourself, why you have patterns, why you have belief systems that no longer serve you. So this would be like, for example, a person that grew up believing that money is the root of all evil, and then this entire time you're trying to create abundance and stability in your financial life, and lo and behold, no matter how much you try, you can't make that money happen. But it's because of that core belief system is causing a problem. So these 3 years would be like going into that belief system and then realizing, holy shit, the problem has been this stupid belief system that I don't really believe in, that I was taught growing up. It's time for me to work on that belief system, break that pattern so that I can move forward. So that is your aspects. Now, let's talk about an external aspect, which is the double energy. So, in the double energy, we have the five of emotions. This is the five of cups. The second thing we have is the Hierophant. This is a belief system. I knew I was going to see that. And we have the seven of voices, which is the seven of swords. I can tell you that your focus on negative has been due to a belief system, something you were taught. And that belief system is creating lack. And it's also stealing you your abundance, your happiness, your joy, and your connections. So the devil you will be confronting is inside of you, like I told you with the hermit energy, but it is a belief system, a core belief system that was taught to you. This can be through religion, this can be through society, this can be through whatever it is, but it's a core belief system that has legit made you feel like you have less than what you have. Okay. And this can also be social media, because I can tell you, growing up in the United States in the 80s, um, and I'm Hispanic, for a long period of time, I thought that the only thing that I was going to be able to do when I grew up was be in a gang and popped out of home as a children and live off the government, because all the movies, that's all the Hispanic women would do, right? And then it took me a long time to realize it was all a lie. So keep that in mind. It's kind of a revelation of the lie that has been creating lack and has been stealing you your joy. All right. And then once you nip that in the butt, all of a sudden everything shifts for you. So it's going to be very positive. I hope you enjoy it. And we'll see you the next time. Bye.